Ladies and gentlemen, on the mic is Mike King here. This is a road trip right here. This is like the Beatles came to town. I'm rocking with Catherine O'Donnell, Richmond Region Tourism. Yes, this is a road show. So we came to Colonial Heights, and we're kicking this road show off because Richmond Region Tourism does a bunch of great things, and we're taking a trip around to the jurisdictions. That way we can showcase all the great things that they're doing. But we're kicking it off here. We got an esteemed panel here with us. Catherine, welcome.
Thanks, Mike. Glad to be here.
All right, now, it's been forever since I've seen you. No,
That was last
yesterday.
night.
Yeah, we were at the hotel in Weston. They had the grand opening. Richmond Region Tourism is everywhere.
We try to be.
That's everywhere. Okay, tell folks a little bit about Richmond Tourism, and then we're going to have the folks go down the list on the panel and tell people can tell who they are, what they do.
Well, to start off, the tourism in the Richmond region is on fire. We have a great community of 7 localities that we promote to visitors and meeting planners and sports tournament organizers and motor coach tours. And if CNN knows anything, it has named us as the #1 town to visit in America in 2024. So we are so thrilled with how well tourism's going, and that has a lot to do with the awesome things in our region that we can promote, like this Berry Tractor Museum and our friends at the Chili Peppers and all the wonderful things in Colonial Heights.
One of the things, and shout out to Jack who explained, and Anthony Romanello and all the people, the impact that tourism has on economic development.
Yeah.
People don't realize when people come to town, the mayor's shaking his head like, yeah. People don't understand that. So we're going to go down the panel. We're going to talk about all the great things happening. Sir?
I'm Bob Severage. I work with Keystone Truck and Tractor Museum.
And this is your house we are in.
Well, we're glad to have you here. Always glad to have you here. We enjoy working with Richmond Regional Tourism, and so it's always good to have people that want to help promote what's going on, not just in the Richmond region, but more specifically right here in Colonial Heights. We work very closely with Mayor Kachuba and the other members of City Council, and it's a great place.
There you go, Mr. Mayor.
Yes, Greg Kachuba from the City of Colonial Heights, the mayor. We're excited to be here. Good to see you again, Mike. Been a part of Richmond Regional Tourism for about 2 years, right? What a blessing that is to be part of that organization. We are high on economic development. Of course, Bob brings the Tractor Museum, which is a great draw for us. And then we have, I know you're going to hear about the Chili Peppers, who play at our Shepherd Stadium, our historical stadium, and they were just recently got a lot of national attention with
Yes,
their
they did.
Cosmic Baseball, which brings a lot of people into the city. Some stay in our hotels and eat at our restaurants, so we're excited to have that. And I would be remiss to say, too, that we have Fort Greg Adams right in our backyard, and we try to support the men and women who put on that uniform and provide a quality of life here in the city.
That's right. A lot of great things happening here in Colonial Heights. Yes, sir. You guys did create a firestorm of buzz with
Yes.
the Cosmic Baseball.
Absolutely.
So tell folks who you are and what you do.
So I'm Rob Perez, General Manager of the Tri-City Chili Peppers. In simple terms, the Tri-City Chili Peppers are a summer college baseball team. We're a part of the Coastal Plain League, which has teams in Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia. But we're also so much more than that. We are, as I like to think of it, as the premier sports entertainment option in the state of Virginia. We provide so much fun and entertainment for the families, the fans that come out to see us. And Cosmic Baseball did launch the Chili Peppers, not only on a national scale, but internationally as well. So we've had people calling in, ordering merchandise from other countries, and really want to be a part of the Chili Peppers experience. And we are poised to make an announcement very soon about how we're going to take the Chili Peppers and Cosmic Baseball to the next level.
You sure you don't want to do it? I got a bank of microphones. Sure you don't want to do it now?
Pay
Why
attention to
would
our
it-
social media, it's coming.
Okay, so next time I see it, I'm going to be standing and looking like, that's what he was here to tell us about.
Yes.
Well, they
All right.
got so much attention, the governor came down to throw out the first pitch, about
Yes.
3 or 4 weeks ago.
Yep.
It was great.
A lot of great things happening down there. Chili Peppers always supporting the community. I love baseball. That's my favorite sport. But one thing is, you guys make it affordable. It is a family
Yes.
type of thing. All righty, Ms. Jackson, Columbia Gas of Virginia does a ton of things. People know them as the gas provider. But she's here really to talk about the community engagement that they do in this community.
That's correct. So, yes, my name is Nicole Jackson. I'm the Senior Public Affairs Specialist for Columbia Gas Virginia. And just a little bit about Columbia Gas Virginia. We do serve approximately 290,000 residential, business, and industrial customers across the state. So that's about a little bit over 5,500 miles of pipe. So it's about 65% of the state that we actually service. And like you said, along with us servicing this great, reliable natural gas resource to the customers, we're also very proud of our role that we play in helping to build up the strong communities that we service. We're working on several different things. We also give out charitable contributions annually, so that's something that I am responsible for, and it's about $400,000 that we give out to the state every year. So I'm looking forward to this conversation.
Here you go. We'd like to thank everyone for coming. But so, Mr. Mayor, you said 2 years you've been part of Richmond Regional
Correct.
Tourism. What was the drive to do that?
Well, we also wanted to expand economic development, and being part of Richmond Regional Tourism, they're going to hone in on, Virginia State has a multi-purpose center where concerts could be held, big sporting events, and that would be a big draw for people coming into the city, staying in our hotels and our restaurants. But just being a part of that organization, where we get plugged in, we get advertised, we get notification of who we are. So we were excited about that.
So, madam, this is your show. So talk about what it means to be all those things to all those people. There's a lot of moving parts. You guys, people out on the road every day. Every time I look up, you guys are somewhere else. And then we see all the wins that, the Richmond region has. Because as you guys say, a person comes to one area, they came to Colonial Heights, they went here, they went there. When they went back home, where'd you go? You went to Richmond.
You're right. Visitors don't know where geographic
No.
boundaries are, city limits, town limits, county limits. And so our region has a 40-year history of being collaborative for tourism, and we've had newer jurisdictions join us, but we know it works because when we go together to promote our region, we have so many more assets for our visitors. So we can combine the airport in Henrico, the fields in Chesterfield, downtown, Colonial Heights. You put it all together, and it's a great package. And it keeps visitors coming back again and again. We do really well with repeat visitation because we have so much to offer and we deliver such great experiences. So the more communities that we have working together, the better we are. And we're setting records in visitor spending. We're well past where we were before COVID. And our team works every day to help bring the Richmond region up in people's awareness, to help us be a destination of choice. So they're out marketing, they do advertising, social media, all the channels, all the things to keep Richmond and the Richmond region on the radar. We also have a team that travels, as you mentioned. They're trying to book meetings, conventions, and tournaments. So they're meeting with event organizers, recruiting them, encouraging them to choose the Richmond region for their event. And then we have our team that's here today at the museum. That's our community relations team that really engages our citizens. And we're having this afternoon our I Am Tourism workshop here in the museum. It's a free class that we offer our citizens to engage and understand tourism, and when they graduate through the class, they get a pass to get admission into a lot of attractions for free. So they
I
can
should
see
have worn
themselves.
my pen.
You should have worn your pen.
I didn't know why I didn't. Okay, because that is something, because people live in an area and you don't know all the things that it has to offer. All right, Bob, so you guys are a nonprofit,
We are.
but you support other organizations. Talk about your commitment to the community, what you guys do as far as what happens here in Colonial Heights and the surrounding area.
Well, we do a lot of things with Colonial Heights, but we also do a lot of things. The mayor mentioned that there's a lot of military presence in this area. One of the things that the president of the museum, Keith Jones, likes doing is to participate with inviting in from McGuire Hospital some of the wounded veterans that don't have as much of an opportunity maybe to get out and around and see things like the museum. We'll bring them down here. We have people that take them around. They bring 2 or 3 bus loads. We provide lunch for them. And we enjoy having an opportunity to participate by providing that service to these people that may not have an opportunity to go out and see things like that as often as some of the rest of us can. We also do things we have had here for the town of Colonial Heights. We had a Colonial Heights Day at the museum a year or so ago, and we plan on doing it again. It was a great opportunity because you hit the nail on the head. There's so many people that don't even know this museum exists, and they live right here in Colonial Heights. And so we like to have events that we can have where we invite the people of Colonial Heights to come in and participate and do things at the museum. We have a Halloween function that is for the local kids that we do with another one of Colonial Heights' businesses that happen to have a whole bunch of those big trucks, and they come in and the kids get to climb around on them. And so we try to participate in as many things as we can with the local community.
And you see the look on people's face when they hit the door. Let's talk about that. You know, you said people ride by. I've seen this building, I don't know, 1,000 times. People who live here have never come here, and all of a sudden they come inside and they're like, whoa.
Exactly. I tell my boss all the time, I like to have a nickel for everybody that says, I can't believe what you've got inside. I said, because then I'd be calling you from somewhere really tropical, telling you how nice the weather is. It is amazing. We have over 125,000 square feet of exhibit space here in the museum. We have an 8,500 square foot banquet room that'll be used by Richmond Regional Tourism today for their classes. And we have so much more than just trucks and tractors. We have cars, we have antique fire engines, we have road tractors, field tractors. We have exhibits of old tobacco products, bottles, toys. It's amazing the amount of things that we have in this museum.
There you go. All right, so you guys set the world on fire with the Cosmic game. Talk about, what was the idea behind that? Like, okay, talk about how you guys came up with that.
Well, last season, during their 2023 season, our owner, Chris Martin, was watching folks play with glow-in-the-dark necklaces, wristbands, during our neon night. And he thought, wouldn't it be cool if we could turn the lights off and make this so much more than what it was? And so he presented the idea to a few different businesses in the area, JW Electric being one of them, Federated Lighting of Virginia, and Sonore. And they went into research and development mode and actually created the first stadium-grade UV blacklight for us. And so once we actually got that blacklight, one, we were blown away that they actually created it and came through with it. Chris has started talking with some of our other vendors and partners and sponsors to figure out, okay, how do we make the players' jerseys be UV reactive? How do we make their hats? How do we make fan merchandise? How do we make the bat itself and even the baseball all be UV reactive? And you know what? In a way, that was sort of the easy part. One of the challenges was, how do you make Shepherd Stadium UV reactive? How do you take concrete, wood, steel, and make that illuminate under blacklight? And so that was part of our planning process to figure out, how do we actually bring a stadium to life? Thankfully, there is UV reactive neon tape out there, because that helped immensely with bringing Shepherd Stadium to life. And the very first night after we got done preparing everything, and we made that switch from regular lights to black lights, it was an incredible experience and reaction from the fans. And after that game, and after we had revealed our jerseys, everything went crazy. Everybody from all across the country was calling in to figure out how to get tickets, how to get merchandise. Media requests were coming in from ESPN, The Athletic, CBS Sports, Yahoo Sports, the MLB Network. We grew up big time this past season, you know, and we even had the MLB Network come here and do a special for a segment for one of their shows called Play Ball. And so that got a chance to not only put the Chili Peppers more on the national map, but also Colonial Heights in Virginia as well. And so that was a great opportunity to give back to the city and let people know, where are the Chili Peppers? Colonial Heights, Virginia. That is where it all started.
Okay, go ahead, man.
I just wanted to add, their success puts an action plan on the city. We're going to have it on our retreat coming up in January. I was talking earlier, we got to look at additional seating, locker rooms, restrooms, parking. We're going to renovate Roanoke Avenue. I don't know if you know about it. That's the street that goes into it. It's about a $5 million project to renovate that, put new paving, water, sewer lines. But yeah, so we extended their contract through 2028. We want them to stay in Colonial Heights. I know there's some other localities that would love to have them that are bringing in sports tourism. So we're going to work really hard to keep them here.
There you go. All righty.
Can I just add,
yes.
I think that's first of all, genius. And it goes to show you how one idea can be a game changer, literally, but also the impact. So it's improving quality of life for the residents, you're improving the stadium, it's literally changing Colonial Heights for the better. So congratulations, you could not put a price on the amount of coverage that you got for the region.
It was great because
Really
we had
well
people
done.
coming in from many other states, the farthest being Hawaii, came here to see Cosmic Baseball. And of course, they're going to stay in the area. So
That's
they
right.
have to spend their dollars within Colonial Heights. So that was great for the city.
Yes.
It's when we
Thank
talk
you, thank
about something like that, it is an immediate impact. It is an organization, it's baseball, but we really don't see the impact. So, Ms. Jackson, when we talk about Columbia Gas, it's just like the gas provider. That you guys provide the gas. People don't even know. As long as when I hit the switch, you want it to be on. You don't think about what it took to get there. Talk a little bit about the other parts that you play that the people are shocked with, like, you guys do that?
Right. So, right. Right now, that is what we're trying to do. We're trying to change that awareness. We're not just the utility company that heats up the house or heats your water. We want to show that we actually care about our community that we serve as well. And part of that is to, like I said before, we are giving to nonprofit organizations. We're looking for ones that share our mission. We have a few pillars that we try to focus on, including basic needs and safety, because we are a safety company. So if we find an organization that is geared towards safety and also just the basic needs of human needs, we would like to partner with them. That also goes for STEM and energy education. We have organizations in the community that want to provide our youth and just community members with that type of knowledge. We are an energy company, so we want to support them as well. Environmental stewardship. We want to help organizations that preserve and protect the natural resources and in the environment in the state of Virginia. And then also, we are a diverse company. We are striving every day to remain that way, so we want to work with organizations that have a DE&I focus, diversity, equity, and inclusion. So on top of that, this year especially, we've been heavily focused on workforce development. So just in the Petersburg area, for instance, we've created a program called the Energy Youth Program. This is for high school students, rising juniors and seniors that are coming out of Petersburg High, Hopewell High, and other surrounding areas as well. But we just had our first completion of that program for the first time. 15 students graduated through the ambassador program. And in that, we had a specific curriculum where they're learning about Columbia Gas and Energy. And they learned about natural gas. They learned about regulatory. They learned about the customer assistance programs, like for billing. And they also talked about customer efficiency. They met with engineers because a lot of the high school students have an interest in engineering. So then we also gave them professional development skills. They went through mock interviews, and it geared them for the next steps in their career when they're ready to interview for their job, interview for a trade school, a college, whatever they want to do. They now have the tool set to be able to do that. And it was a paid program for over 2 months. So the goal for us, though, was that at the end of the program, and we'll do this every year, at the end of the program, they go out in the community, and they are now ambassadors to be able to share that information that they learned. So it really puts it to the test. How much did you absorb, and how can you now be ambassadors on behalf of energy, and especially Columbia Gas of Virginia?
So on the mic, Mike, we're down here, Richmond Region Tourism. It's the Road Show. We're here in Colonial Heights. Really quickly, could you talk about careers, basic career in energy? What that we're going to go down here and just talk about some possibilities of when you see whether females in energy or the part that tourism can play. So really quickly, because we got Catherine's on a tight clock right there. Her and the mayor, because they got to go, Mike. Let's kind of because we got this I Am Tourism big event happening. But talk really quickly about that part.
About the women?
Women, yes.
Yes.
Or opportunities in the energy field.
Right. So actually, just a little bit about my career in the energy. So I have over 10 years in natural gas, but part of my resume was that I was a construction supervisor for a few years.
Really?
I was out in the
You were that
field.
kid who was, when you were playing, you were the one, you know how to build things?
Yes. So
I don't.
So yes, I did that, but it was a shock for a lot of people, my parents included, that I would want to do something like that. But really, it was a lot more interesting than you would imagine. And what we want to do is promote that. We want to show that women can also work in our field positions. Those are entry level. They're considered entry level for service and plant. We are doing some outreach with our partners like YWCA and other women organizations to see, do these women that are looking for employment, are they aware of the opportunities that Columbia Gas has right at their back door? So we do have an outreach initiative for that. And like I said, we are very motivated. We have a plethora of departments that people would not think are in the energy industry because it's not the most attractive industry. The youth especially don't think about it. But we really do have a vast amount of different varieties of jobs. Like myself, public affairs, communication, marketing, large customers. We have engineering. We have technical sides of it. We have, like I said, the hands-on, the field experience. We have construction. So we have plenty of women that are working there, but we want more, and that's what we're trying to do.
There you go. And it's the energy field, right, sir? The life of a baseball person. Let's talk about, there is the game on the field. There's also the part that goes with it that ends up turning you guys into, something that goes viral.
Yes. And so that takes a lot of work on the back end to be that creative and also bring in the people who have the skill sets to be able to help make sure that everything on social media looks of high quality, to make sure that the experience we create for the fans in the stadium is the best it can be. And we do that particularly through our internship program. And so we go out, we recruit from not only universities in Virginia, but my goal is all across the United States and internationally as well. And so this past season, we had over 35 interns who represented 30 different universities from 17 different states. And so my goal is to continue to increase that and get some more international interns, because we did have last season one from Scotland come and join us. So we are trying to take the Chili Peppers to another level when it comes to letting people know who we are, what we do, and where we're located. And so the more we go out there and educate people and make them aware about the Chili Peppers, the better it is for Colonial Heights, because that means new people are learning about us and wanting to come here to be a part of the experience.
Real quickly, touch on the part that minor league baseball is affordable for families.
Yes. And that's something that we've been discussing, particularly throughout this off-season, as we look at ticketing packages for next year. Some people could be like, well, you hit Cosmic Baseball, so you're going to jack the prices up a lot. No, we don't want to do that. We still want to make it affordable, because the great thing about Shepherd Stadium is it's very much a different setting than, say, the Diamond in downtown Richmond. It's very neighborhood, family-oriented environment. And so families are the key for success for the Chili Peppers. We love it when they bring the kids out there. The kids have a great time. They can run around in the stadium, in our kids zone, while the parents are relaxing. And that is our core demographic, reaching out to those families. So we've got to keep it affordable for them.
Favorite pro baseball team?
I've always been a Chicago Cubs fan. Yes. Lots of pain through that.
No more pain. I'm a Phillies fan, so there's
I'm sorry.
exactly. We know what pain is.
Yes, we do.
All right, so Mr. Mayor, let's talk very quickly about public service. People going into that and the impact on why we're here in Colonial Heights.
Public service in regards to...
How do we get to next you?
Oh, that's great. We have an election coming up in November, and City Council has 4 seats that are open, and 7 people are running. There are a couple of younger individuals running, which is great. Try to get a diverse City Council. I think the more diverse you can and different experiences or professional experiences you have on council, the better it is to resolve issues and problems and have a vision forward.
All right.
So, but you do have to, they have to get out. They have to get plugged in and volunteer. And, public service comes in more shapes and forms than just being on city council. We have all kinds of boards and commissions that they can participate in. We're always looking for individuals to serve in all different ways.
There you go. Catherine's talking about hospitality. Beth Murphy was here earlier. It is something that is taught over Bryan and Stratton. Let's talk the opportunities for people in hospitality, and the reason came here today.
Mike, in our region, the hospitality industry employs 26,000 plus people of our neighbors, and that has so many options. So it could be a GM at a hotel. It could be somebody cooking in the grill cafe here. It runs the gamut, and so many people that, if you think back to your own journeys, I know I was a server at one time. Many of us have worked in hospitality, and we like to say that hospitality teaches people how to people, especially in a world where we have a lot of remote work happening and folks who've been learning digitally. So it's a great way to learn the interpersonal, the customer service skills. It's a great career path. But we rely on thousands and thousands of people in our community to provide the memory-making experiences and service so our guests come back again and again. We partner with VSU. They have a hospitality management program. We've been partners with them for probably 15 years or so, and we actually award several scholarships a year to students in that program. We also partner with a lot of the local high schools through their CTE programs to help. Really, the goal from Richmond Region Tourism's perspective is to help young people consider hospitality when maybe it hasn't been on their radar previously, as at least a great way to start a career, even if they don't spend their entire career in hospitality. But it's a wonderful field, and coming from the place where we get to promote the whole region as our job, I feel lucky every day that that's what I get to do for a living.
Well, you do have a cool job.
I do.
Really quickly, so you've been in tourism 20, how many years?
22 years.
So Jack had been there he had been there forever. Talk about putting a stamp on, your stamp on the organization now, and I guess the importance of continuation. Like, that we're keeping things the same, but they're different, but also the power in continuity.
Yeah. I think the way that the transition works, so if for anybody who doesn't know, our CEO, Jack Barry, retired on June 30th after 35 years with the organization. And really, he started thinking about succession planning almost 5 years ago and created the executive vice president role for me to assume, to really oversee some areas in the organization that I hadn't worked in previously and lay the groundwork for a transition. So well, he did such a good job with that when he announced his retirement back in January, the board also selected me as a successor all at once. And so then I had one announcement with all of it happening at once, which was so great because I gave us a 6-month runway before he retired to bring the community along, to honor him at our annual meeting, and for me to lay out my vision for the future. So really for us, it's not so much about coming in and changing, but really building on his legacy, and something that I've been able to be a part of too along the way. But really what I'm thinking about for the future, and what I've challenged my team at Richmond Region Tourism to be thinking about, is this idea of tourism as a force for good. So we already know that tourism drives economic development and jobs, and that's kind of table stakes. If we're not doing that, we're not doing our job. But how can we have this lens that takes it a little bit further on how we're using tourism as a force for good in our community? So an example would be, if we're going to be recruiting meetings and conventions anyway, let's look for the ones that our people here care about and want to be a part of. If we're going to be promoting the Richmond region to get the brand awareness out there, let's reshape narratives about Richmond through Black RVA, throughout RVA, and really just looking at whatever we're doing and how it can make a difference and matter and make an impact for our community.
There you go. Bob, let's talk about, you guys provide a lot of services, you help a lot of people. Talk about what is it that you guys need.
Well, I've been listening to the others on the panel talk about their interaction and how they're helping people come along and try to get new jobs, women down at Columbia and with the Chili Peppers. And I'm thinking, well, we're a 501c3, which this is my first time for the last 5 or 6 years that I've been here, having a job at a 501c3, and it's a totally different perspective on what it is you're doing and how you're doing it and how you interact with the Columbia gases and with the Chili Peppers and with the city. It's totally different. And so the things that we look for a lot of times, believe it or not, is almost those people that are at the other end of the spectrum. Someone that has been working for many years and they have tremendous skills, and we're looking for volunteers, or we're looking for people that can help us provide the services that we want to be able to provide, not just to the community, but you've got 75 million cars that are going up and down a road that's just the other side of this wall right here, and they want to have a place they can stop and feel comfortable and get a good meal, get some entertainment, have a place to stay overnight, and to see something like a museum that they never thought they would see. So we do provide an opportunity for people to continue to help in a role that deals directly with what you've been talking about as far as bringing those type of people in that we want in this area to participate and be a part of what we do here. But it is the other end of the perspective with us at this end. So we love working with those companies that are on the front end, because they're the ones that help us as well to promote what we're doing here.
There you go. So on the mic is Mike. Catherine is here. All right, ma'am, we're wrapping this up. This is our first. We are going to take this on the road. What we're doing is we're talking tourism where we are, but we're also talking the local ecosystem. So we're going to go out to the other locations. What can people expect when we go to those locations?
Well, I love this concept. I'm so glad we're partnering together, Mike, to do it because, as you said earlier, a lot of times people don't know what's in their own
I
backyard.
don't know. I was riding by.
Right? I mean, people, it's amazing here. If you have not been here, everyone needs to come and see it. And so that's part of why we're doing this, is to help remind the Richmond Region community why we love living here and maybe some things that they don't know about. And that's why we offer the I Am Tourism class that's free for citizens to come in and learn about their own community. So each place we go to, we'll be talking to some really interesting panelists just like these and talking about maybe some hidden gems or things that are under people's radars. We have so much to offer. People living here, people visiting here, and we just like to be cheerleaders for the region, and so do you. So
That's what we do.
perfect partnership.
Alrighty, Ms. Jackson, we can start off and end up with how can people contact you guys and find out all the great things that's happening at Columbia Gas?
Yes, so especially for careers, I do want to say all of that information is on our website. It's columbiagasva.com. I do want to point out that we have a parent company. It's NiSource. So if you see that it says NiSource under the careers or under any of the community outreach we're doing, that is also us. We are across the country in several states, so that is our parent company. But they can also contact me as the Public Affairs at NicoleJackson@NiSource.com for any charitable contributions or community outreach opportunities. Please let me know.
There you go. Mr. Baseball.
All right, so all the news about the Chili Peppers can be found on our website, chilipeppersbaseball.com, or on social media by following us, Go Chili Peppers. I'd also like to thank Richmond Region Tourism for this opportunity today and also the support they've given to the Chili Peppers over the past year, and also being included in the new promotional video that you guys just released. I watched it, great video.
That was a great
It
video.
was. I'd also like to thank Mayor Kachuba for his support from the city perspective, and we are looking forward to a discussion about the upgrades coming soon to Shepherd Stadium. Okay? So, really love
You
that.
know, Mr. Mayor, you're a popular man now. It's like, okay. So, Mr. Mayor, we did this. Like, this is a home game for you.
Yes.
We did, like I said, we did it in Hopewell last time. A lot of great things happening in this town.
Yes, but before I address that, I do want to say that I do sit on the board of directors for the Richmond Regional Tourism. We feel very comfortable with Catherine being our lead. She does a great job of treating all the localities, no matter how large they are, whether it's Richmond, Henrico, Chesterfield, Colonial Heights, which we're small, or Ashland, we all get treated the same.
Well,
So
you
it's
know,
a great
she
thing.
said right off the bat, Mike, we're going to Colonial Heights.
There you go, so see?
And I'm like, yeah, okay, so I'm going home.
Yes.
All right, so really quickly, talk a little bit about, we said, the public service, the culture. Really quickly, so when you go from Jack to Catherine, there's a certain culture. How do you set culture in an organization, whether it is in city government, tourism? How do you do that?
Well, I think you have to understand those that are taking the lead to see what path they're going to take and adjust to that. And Catherine's approach may be a little bit different than Jack's, but that's okay because she has a wealth of experience, and we fully support her. So,
There you go, City of Colonial Heights. We got the
Yep.
mayor in the house. Alrighty, Bob, how can people get you information about Keystone?
Well, just as all of the others have mentioned, our website gives all of the information about the museum from A to Z. It's KeystoneTractorWorks.com. Obviously, if you just Google Keystone Tractor and Truck and Tractor Museum, it takes you right straight to our website. And we're open 7 days a week, so we love having people stop by, and whether it's just to grab something quick to eat or come in and look through the museum.
It is phenomenal here. Phenomenal, that's Joanna Smith's word. I just thought about, alrighty, Catherine, one last time, how can people get information about Richmond Region Tourism?
Absolutely. Visit richmondva.com is the website for all things in the Richmond region. And if you have events that are available for visitors to attend, we may put them on our calendar for free. It's the #1 visited section, so please do that. We're on all the socials. But I will say on Instagram, we are so close to 100,000 followers, and we're actually doing a contest around that. So if you're not following us at Visit Richmond VA on Instagram, do so now. It has great content, and you could enter to win the prize.
Shout out to you and your team. The Black RV Awards, you guys hit it out the park. Shout out to all the team who made that happen.
Thanks,
It's something
Mike.
recognizing the folks in the area. All right, so we got to go. These folks, they got stuff to do. They can't hang out with me all day. All right, so on the mic is Mike here, Catherine. This is a road show. So we'll catch up with you the next time. We'll let you know. But like you said, She picked out, he said, Mike, we gotta go to Colonial
I
Heights.
love it. I love it.
There we go, Mr. Mayor. We gotta go, folks. Thanks now. Take care.
Take care.